Real Madrid boss expected to leave club at end of month after Copa del Rey final, but before, make sure you have done subscribe for getting updates and transfers. News, let's dive in. Real Madrid boss Carlo Ancelotti expected to leave club after Copa del Rey final on April 26th. Spanish giants suffered Champions League quarterfinal exit to Arsenal and are 4 points behind La Liga leaders Barcelona. Ancelotti could be appointed new Brazil head coach before end of season. Real Madrid boss Carlo Ancelotti is expected to leave the club after the Copa del Rey final on April 26th. Sky Sports News understands. Ancelotti cast doubt over his future as Real head coach after Wednesday's Champions League quarter-final defeat to Arsenal, which saw his team lose 2-1 at home and 5-1 on aggregate. It is understood the 65 years old will remain in place until the Copa del Rey final against Barcelona in Seville, but is expected to depart the club after that game. Real and Barcelona are fighting it out for the domestic double, with Ancelotti's side sitting 4 points behind Barca in the league with 7 games to play. The pair meet in El Clasico on May 11th, but the Italian is not expected to be in charge for the game in Barcelona. Brazil want to appoint the ex-Everton boss as their new head coach, and he could be installed in the role before the end of the Spanish domestic campaign. Speaking about his real future following Wednesday night's defeat to Arsenal, Ancelotti said, "Maybe the club decides to replace me, and maybe it could be this year or next year when my contract is over. But when I am done here, I will be grateful to this club. That could be tomorrow, 10 days, 1 month, or in 1 year. But if my contract ends or doesn't end, I really don't care. We have managed the bright side many times and we have won titles, but we need to manage the dark side too. We need to accept it because over the 2 games, Arsenal have been better than us." Ancelotti rejoined Real in the summer of 2021 and has won 11 trophies in his second stint in charge, including 2 La Liga titles, 2 Champions Leagues, and the Club World Cup. Could Alonso or Klopp replace Ancelotti? Former Real Madrid president Ramon Calderón speaking to Sky Sports News. Of course, there are many names like Xabi Alonso, who played for Real Madrid, and Jurgen Klopp. Many in the next days and months will be linked with Real Madrid. But I hope that the president will decide to keep Ancelotti. I don't know if he's willing to stay. This bench is very difficult for any coach. It is an obligation to win, which is not possible to do it all the time. They are talking about Xabi Alonso, but he is still with Leverkusen. I think he extended his contract, so it won't be easy to get him. Brazil are understood to remain hopeful of appointing Ancelotti as their new head coach. A source has told Sky Sports News that Diego Fernandes, a prominent Brazilian businessman, is attempting to broker a deal. It is understood Fernandes has ties with Ancelotti's team and the Brazilian Football Federation, CBF, as part of the CBF attempts to bring the Italian to Brazil. However, it is understood there is mounting concern within the Brazil camp that time is running out to make the appointment, and the national team cannot afford to remain without a head coach until August. Their next games come in June against Paraguay and Ecuador in World Cup 2026 qualifying, and Brazil have been without a manager since sacking Dorival Jr. following a 4-1 loss to Argentina in March. Ancelotti has been widely reported to be the Brazil national team's target since last year's Copa America. They are also reportedly interested in Jorge Jesus, the manager of Al Hilal in the Saudi Pro League. The CBF has been contacted by Sky Sports News. The Italian coach does not have his continuity guaranteed, and there is already a team willing to remove him from the Santiago Bernabeu. Alarms have been raised again in Brazil. Ancelotti's name is once again on everyone's lips as the great hope of the Brazilian Football Confederation, CBF, to take charge of the national team. The Italian coach, currently leading Real Madrid, was previously linked to the Brazilian national team, but ultimately renewed with the Spanish club until 2026. However, CBF still considers Ancelotti the ideal choice to lead Brazil, especially after the recent setbacks of the South American team. They want him after the Club World Cup. The idea being considered in Brazil is for Ancelotti to assume the position after the 2025 Club World Cup, scheduled between June and July, where Real Madrid will be one of the participants. The federation believes that would be the perfect time to make the announcement, provided that the Madrid club decides to end their cycle with the Italian coach and seek a new one. Despite having a valid contract, Ancelotti's future on the Madrid bench is not entirely secure, especially if Real Madrid fails to meet its objectives this season. CBF considers Ancelotti's experience and leadership essential to bring Brazil back to the pinnacle of world football.